Thank you, Lucy. And I see it's 3 o'clock UK time on almost on the dot. And so yeah, wonderful to be here today. And thank you, Lucy and the ICG for uh, involving us and inviting us to give this webinar today. I'm Benjamin from eTabs. I'll start off by giving a brief introduction as to who eTabs are, what we do. And then introduce our new product called SlideCraft. You know, the why, the what, and how, if you like, of SlideCraft. And then you'll get a chance to see it in action. And then we can talk about subscription and how you can make the most of it, get your hands on it, if you like, and use it for your projects. We'll probably be about 25 more minutes, I think. We'll leave questions for the end. If you don't mind using the chat box to insert questions at any point you want, put them into the chat box as you think of them. And then essentially, Lucy will read those out and I'll see those at the end of the presentation. And then we'll happy to discuss those questions and give answers at that point, rather than interfering with the flow of the actual webinar itself. Okay, so just for those of you who are not aware of eTabs, and we've done webinars before with the ICG and been at events as well. We're the acknowledged leader for the back-end reporting process within market research. We've been around for many, many years. And so our specialty would be like data visualization, automated reporting and charting that we're going to look at today, dashboards, if you ever have a need for deliverables via online dashboards. Then those are the areas that we deal in. Although we have tabs in our name, we're not a company that does tabs, so we're not DP in any way. We can certainly facilitate that if you need us to, but that's not our point. Our core area of expertise is what happens after you've got a set of tabs. So whether you're doing that internally or you have external people doing tabulation DP for you, you then need to get that into PowerPoint presentations or Google Slides, for example. We can do that last stage of helping you get the data into charts, into PowerPoint, into Google, and so on. We've won a number of awards over the years, including the Queen's Award, the late Queen Award, I should say, for Enterprise, which was a great opportunity to see Her Majesty the Queen at Buckingham Palace, and obviously treasure that memory now forever. Although we're headquartered in the UK, we are a global company, so we have teams in the US, mainland Europe, and APAC. And this way we can provide close to 24-hour support across the world, because very often, especially consultants, you're working late hours and you might need some assistance at the last minute if something isn't going to plan. So you've always got access to our support team pretty much around the clock. Okay, so just to sort of paint the picture, if you like, what are those typical challenges that we come across when speaking with researchers and their manual reporting experiences? By far, the most frustration comes with manual hand posting. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it's a huge distraction for researchers desperately trying to carve time in their day to do more analysis and find insights for their clients and stakeholders. And as with anything manual, of course, it's prone to human error. When you've been entering hundreds of numbers by hand, the chances of introducing typos increases. And the same is true when copying and pasting back and forth between Excel and PowerPoint. You're tired and you point to the wrong row or column. We've all been there. And just because field work is running later than expected, it doesn't mean your client deliverable deadline automatically gets in return. When you have no choice but to only begin your reporting once field work is complete and the final data available to you, you have very limited time before your promised deadline. And this often means late nights and long weekend work, desperately using every free moment you've got to plug in those numbers, format your final report, and then write your analysis, often involving a lot of fiddly adjustments of brand logos and significance indicators in slides and so on. Maybe you have an online analysis tool that offers rendering of analyses into simple PowerPoint charts. Sweet, but then you're still left with a lot of fiddling to get the final report completed and formatted and laid out exactly as you want. Worse still, maybe you have charts given to you as images that can't be edited, not very helpful at all. And you're probably somewhat limited with chart types, the number of objects on a slide, or restricted when handling changing conditions. So at ETABS, we've been hearing the challenges and pain points for years. And as the acknowledged leaders in report automation solutions for the global market research industry, ETABS has a range of desktop products as well as a service team that automate report and chart production, completely eradicating all those challenges and more. However, today I'm really excited to announce a significant variation to that desktop theme, and that's the launch of SlideCraft. SlideCraft is our first completely cloud-based offering that opens up a powerful charting platform, which you can activate from any device, Windows, Mac, even a mobile phone, or even via API, delivering fully customized chart decks to you or to your clients within seconds. Let's have a look at some of the typical use cases where you could leverage SlideCraft. So the days when a deliverable can end with a huge set of banner tables are long over. Researchers want something tangible and visual. With SlideCraft, you can simply upload an Excel workbook of banner tables from your DP system or provider, and within seconds, you'll receive a fully formatted deck of charts for each and every question or table, or the question or tables that you choose. And this is so much more visually appealing than start staring at hundreds of figures, and so much easier to spot the nuggets and insights might be buried away. And let's say you're midway through fieldwork and would like to get a visual idea of how the survey results are looking. SlideCraft could generate those top lines for you in just a few seconds as well. And then, of course, repeat that slide production on the final data once fieldwork is complete and the tables have all been generated. Would you like a helping hand to tell your story? SlideCraft's rapid generation of multiple charts across all questions gives you an easy way to cherry pick your way through the data and portray the story you want to tell. So all the charts generated are fully editable native PowerPoint objects, so you can adjust them as much as you need. You can change the labels, chart types, and more, all within that familiar PowerPoint environment. You'll be able to then add your insights, comments, and notes. And the time savings compared to the manual hand posting are huge, leaving you with more time to analyze, identify, report your findings, and tell your story. Another sort of use case, if you're only producing tabs for your clients, you can now also provide an auto-generated library deck to accompany those banner tables with very little extra effort. You could choose to include every question or just a selection of questions. The choice is yours, and the library deck will be generated in a few seconds, ready for you to deliver to your clients or stakeholders, faster than ever before. It's a simple way to add amazing value or even create an additional revenue stream. SlideCraft can also be used alongside our full suite of automated reporting solutions, so you can fine-tune the report that you need to deliver, even with the most complex of details. But we'll touch on those other solutions shortly. Let's focus on SlideCraft for now. SlideCraft is the result of many months of research and development. We spoke with professionals across the spectrum of market research, suppliers, agencies, client-side researchers, and consultants to gain a better understanding of their range of reporting and charting needs. And we used this feedback to create and perfect a solution that not only met, but truly exceeded their expectations. There's no need to write complex macros or code anything. They're literally just 3 simple steps to turning your tables into a great set of charts. Firstly, upload those data tables. Again, that can come from any data processing package that you may currently be using. Typically, that would be an Excel file. Step 2, you select your desired questions and tables, variables, and slide themes that you want to have charted. And then the third step, you can download your fully populated PowerPoint slides. It literally takes a few seconds, obviously depending on the number of slides you're going to generate. So it literally is that simple. But don't just take my word for it. Let's see SlideCraft in action now. So we're going to start off by uploading a set of banner tables to our secure online portal. Now that's done, we're presented with the SlideCraft wizard, and this is where we will choose our questions and generate our choice of charts. And I'm going to start building a list or a bucket of slides and charts that I'd like to generate. We'll start off with some stacked bar charts, taking questions 1 through 4 and showing the age breaks for now. We can also fine-tune our output with additional features such as including or excluding specific rows, sorting the data, and more. For now, let's just exclude the rows showing top two and bottom two boxes so they don't interrupt the flow of the data in our chart. And I'm also pulling in the base values and SIG testing, so those have been selected too. And you can see that 4 slides have now been added to my bucket. Let's include pie charts now to show the total column from each of questions 5A through 5H. There you go, another 8 slides added. Next, I'd like to show the regional data for questions 6A and B as tables. So I've chosen that table template, as you can see. And finally, I'm going to add a column chart for every question, again, showing values for total male and female and their base sizes. Great, there goes another 24 slides. So I've finished my selection. That's a total of 38 slides that I wish to generate. You can see here a summary of the various slides that are about to be generated, so you can confirm your selection and click Run. SlideCraft is now processing the slide production up in the cloud. I chose to receive the output by email. You can select your own preferred delivery method, whether it should be an email attachment or a link, or even just download it directly from your desktop from the SlideCraft site. So let's open up our masterpiece. You'll see SlideCraft produce all 38 slides in just a few seconds. Notice the base sizes here appearing alongside the column headings and those stat letters that were pulled directly into the data labels. There's 2 huge time savers right there. We also have the first 4 questions where the top 2 and bottom 2 boxes were removed, followed by the pie charts for questions 5A through 5H. Next up, you'll see questions 6A and 6B in summary tables. There you go. And finally, the bar charts for each and every question. Just paging through them all here so you can get an idea of what we've generated. Note how we've also populated the question text and the base size and the footer on every slide. As a default, we include placeholders of the slide title and commentary view, so you can fill those in accordingly. As I mentioned earlier, all the slides created are fully editable, so you can make changes to the text box's title as well as the chart objects themselves, with exactly the same flexibility as you'd have had created the charts by hand, but of course in a fraction of the time and absolute accuracy, pulling the data directly from the original tables. In our example today, we used one of the standard default themes for PowerPoint slides, but you can just as easily load in your own slide designs with your corporate or the client's themes, branding, logos, color scheme, palettes, and so on, and of course, positioning of the objects. You don't have to have the question text at the bottom. You could have it somewhere else or whatever you want, and whatever size font, and so on. So, could you have generated all those slides with all that detail as quickly? Quite possibly not. And even if you give this over to a team to do manually, it's all going to be checked. And again, that's not much fun. But don't just take our word for it. SlideCraft can literally turn your banner tables into a set of usable charts so quickly. And here are a couple of recent client testimonials. This one from Lindsay Peck, who's Director, Engage Research. And she said, Engage has been searching for a way to make charting faster and less complex. We wanted a package that streamlined our processes to allow us more time to consider the data and give great recommendations to our clients. SlideCraft gives us that balance. It's a fast, intuitive way to run charts, look at subgroups and add the basics like base sizes, the question numbers, the text, and significance testing very easily. She was also quite complimentary about our team, that the support team at ETABS are patient, very solution focused, and we're now working with them to embed SlideCraft into our everyday workflow. And now a consultant, Naya Beshe in the US. SlideCraft is nothing short of a breakthrough in the world of market research. Truly a game changer that will not only save companies many hours and days of work, but also reduce the risk of costly errors and ensure unparalleled consistency in positive. You can create compelling PowerPoint slides in a matter of seconds. And what's truly remarkable is how it empowers you to focus on the core aspects of your research, rather than getting bogged down by the technicalities of PowerPoint. Just for your reassurance, SlideCraft hosts on secure servers within the popular Microsoft Azure cloud infrastructure, and levels of 24/7 uptime, and full GDPR compliant. Also bear in mind that in terms of the data we're handling, we're only handling the aggregated data. You're not passing us any responsible or identifiable data. Just to benefit everyone, could whoever's got their microphone on, just turn that off for now, because I think we can hear some background noise. When logging in, each client has their own dedicated secure and private workspace to ensure confidentiality. And this can even be applied across an organization to restrict sensitive projects for the eyes of those specific teams involved. And for projects that require regional or even restricted country hosting, then we can host that in a workspace accordingly. So how do you get your hands on SlideCraft? It's a fully cloud-based software as a service product with a subscription option to suit every budget. And you only pay for the volume of slides that you actually need to generate. So that's great when you're not quite sure what you're going to need between projects. There are no individual license fees, so you can give access to an entire team or a company, and everyone that can share and draw from that same volume pool. And subscriptions start at just £50 per month. So you can enjoy massive time and cost savings compared with those old days of manual charting or offshoring chart production. And for ICG members listening today, we're offering a free 2-month subscription for everyone on this call. So just email us at slidecraft@e-tabs.com, as you can see on the slide there, and we'll send you your unique login so you can start to enjoy effortless chart generation at no cost. And we'll also give you free onboarding and a web-based training session as well. I mentioned that eTabs, well, the SlideCraft rather, is only one of several solutions from eTabs. If you have projects that are more demanding than just sort of basic online chart generation, then, for example, if it's a repetitive study, like a multi-market or tracking study, then we have a product called Enterprise. And Enterprise can either be licensed, or we have a full professional services team that can do automation for you. And that means literally every detail you can imagine in a tracking study or multi-market study, taking care of any differences in brand lists and questions over time. And it can also automate Google Slides, just in case that comes up. It is beginning to rear its head within the industry. For more ad hoc type projects where you wish you'd have your own personal reporting assistant, then we have a plugin for PowerPoint called Graphique. And that's really ideal for storytelling within PowerPoint as well. We have another cloud-based product as well that sits in our portfolio that allows you to hook into it via an API or a script that goes from an online dashboard like a Tableau or a Power BI dashboard. And those could be existing dashboards. You don't have to do them especially for this. And it allows you to then export the current view or views from that dashboard into editable PowerPoint or even Google Slides outputs. So that adds a lot of value, a lot of flexibility to dashboards where otherwise you might just get pictures of a dashboard in PowerPoint. And again, that's not very flexible. And then finally, our visuals, which is another plugin within PowerPoint that allows you to create data-driven infographics and data visualizations like word clouds, proportionally sized or filled images, brand logos, and the rest. So to summarize and wrap up and then open the floor for questions, automated reporting has many strategic benefits. It gives you the chance to add value to what you're doing now. You'll be able to do it better and do more of it. And particularly helpful for consultants and smaller teams. It gives you ways to generate more revenue and maintain or grow profits. To take on projects that otherwise you would never even dream of taking on. We've got client companies that's 3-5 people, and they're doing massive ongoing studies thanks to the automation of our solutions. It strengthens client relationships, no doubt about it, but you'll be partnering with your clients and moving ahead rather than just doing the same thing expecting a different outcome. And finally, your staff will appreciate it too. Instead of exercising their fingers, they finally get a chance to exercise their minds and add insight to what they're doing and be more creative. It's less stressful too. And their increased job satisfaction will translate into a happier team and a happier company. So That's it from the presentation side of things. I'm just going to look in the chat box now and see.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Sorry, we've got some questions in the chat. Obviously, if I start with those, if you want to ask questions, feel free after that. If you want to unmute yourself, but let's start with the written ones. This is from Mike. If I'm running a tracking study with multiple waves and I have an individual table deck for each wave, can I produce a wave-on-wave deck?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I'm assuming you're just looking at like a simple deck of charts to be associated with the data each month, each quarter. Then yeah, absolutely fine. SlideCraft is not the right tool for the job if you're looking to perhaps something more complex for a typical tracker where you're comparing waves and working out the differences between last wave and this wave and so on. So that type of project would normally be handled by our enterprise solution, which is designed for these repetitive type studies that are way more complex. It's worth reaching out to us directly and we can have a chat about that. Like I said, that could be on a project by project basis using our team, or if you've got several projects ongoing, you could take a license and we'll train you up and you can do it yourselves.
Okay, I'll miss my question for now. I'll come back to it. But James says, can you access on a project by project basis rather than a monthly subscription?
Yes, you can. We do have options for that as well.
Okay, I've got another one from Barbara. Could I create different slide designs for different clients?
Yes, absolutely. So you can import your own themes, you can import those different designs and so on. Yep. So it can be customized, can be branded according to each of the clients that you work for.
Okay. Akanksha wants to know, can you upload a template to update the slide pack with?
Yes. Again, I think that if I'm understanding the question correctly, that's similar to Barbara's just before, where you can use your own template, and we can import that into SlideCraft for you to then pull the data into your preferred chart types.
And I just want to know a bit more about what can be included on the design of each slide. Can you explain that a bit more, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So the slide can have text, text boxes. It can have tables, as we saw, charts. SlideCraft is limited to one chart per slide. Our other solutions can handle multiple objects on a slide, but you have flexibility of the placement of where you put your charts and tables, question text, and so on, and whatever design and theme colors you want. Complete flexibility over that, and that's all done in PowerPoint. So no special skills required for that.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions? We've got 5 minutes. Feel free to unmute yourself. I can't see everybody, so I can't see if you've got hands up or anything. But just unmute yourself, please, if you've got anything to
Mike Dinsdale has a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I put it down in the text. Did you say at the beginning significance tests on certain charts? I noticed sample size appeared on some of them.
Yes, and you can include stat testing. That stat testing could either come from the tables. If you would run stat testing in the tables, we can import the A, B, C column letters and include that in a chart label, or include that like in the table next to the numbers. You can perhaps have that superscripted if you want within the table next to the numbers. Yeah, absolutely. In our other solutions like Enterprise and Graphique, you can actually do stat testing in the tools themselves if you need to.
Right.
You mentioned you put that in the chat, but I didn't see.
I didn't see it, Mike.
I put it when I apologized for leaving my camera on when I was having my lunch.
We didn't see it, Mike, but
maybe that was a direct
thanks
message.
for asking.
That's why we didn't see your lunch either.
Mike has come back. I know he's got building work, which is why he can't speak. But he said, it seems cheap. What's the catch, Benji? With a smiley emoji.
Rolling on the floor out laughing. So no catch. We want to make automated charting and reporting affordable for everyone. And this is a great taster of what's possible using automation. Of course, yeah, like I said, the flexibility is more limited than our other solutions. So it's literally just a table per slide or a chart per slide. And it's designed to really give those library decks, those mass generated appendix decks, if you like, that you can either give to a client as is or use to, like I said, like cherry pick and pull together the charts and the slides that you want to use to then tell your customized story. So no catch. It really is very affordable and very useful. There's a lot that you can leverage utility-wise from this.
Question.
Thank you. Any other questions? I'm sorry for the
Quick question.
come in.
What's the cost if one uses it ad hoc?
So ad hoc, that starts at £200 a shot.
Thank you.
Sure. And I saw there was another question, Lucy, from Sudden.
Yes. For tracking projects, as the new waves get added on the banner, can the charts also get expanded or added automatically? So
in this solution, again, it's not really designed for trackers as such. So if you want to have an automation going for a tracking project, speak to us and we can talk to you about our enterprise product that's way more suited for that type of project. I mean, in theory, if you run tables, they have historical data in the tables, previous wave and current wave, and you don't want to do anything else special on the slides, you may be able to try and shoehorn that into SlideCraft, but it's not ideally designed for trackers.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone? As I said, I'm really sorry I can't see everyone all in one go, but please speak. You've obviously got Benjamin's email address there and the website, so follow up if you have any further questions. We will circulate the recording of this as well, so you can go back to it. There's a comment here from Akanksha saying she'll be in touch with you. So I think we will draw it to a close, and hopefully this is just the start of a conversation with ETABS, yeah, we'll get the recording out very soon. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, everyone.
ICG event.
Thank you. Keep up the great work.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Benjamin.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.